What's up, Renegade Nation? Before we begin the video, I'd like to give a big shout out to our most recent Patreon supporter, Tiffy, Thomas Gabriel White, Emily Morgan Bedwell, Shy Guy, Connor the Weeb, Aiden Wild, James Smith, Archangel Gaming, Ramon Moreno, Justin Stockholm, The Game Dev, Sovu Owo, Jacob Fries, and as always, I'd like to give a big shout out to our executive producer, The Anime Hybrid. Thank you all very much for your support, and if you want to support us on Patreon, feel free to click the link down below to find out more. We'll see you there. So Chad, if I say the name Todd McFarlane, what comes to your mind?
Spider-Man, Venom, Carnage, Follow the Leader, Spawn.
The list goes on.
Witchblade.
Yeah. There's an unbelievable amount.
Action figures.
Yes. Oh, and also, you know, he is having, there is a new Spawn TV series coming out here soon. There's actually going to be two. One for adults and then one that's edited more to be on public TV.
Yeah.
And
so the film got tanked?
From what I understand, the film is still happening, but the delay due to COVID has just made it difficult. And also the fact that I believe they had Jamie Foxx set to play him.
And now he's playing Mike Tyson,
so,
which...
again, more and more delays.
Well, there's also the COVID situation causing there to be a lot more talks of R-rated cartoon movies.
This is true.
So...
Well, you see, I've been in favor of that for a long time. I mean, I remember the first one I saw, the first cartoon movie I saw that was not for kids. My mom accidentally rented it thinking it was for kids.
Was it Fritz?
No, it was friggin' Watership Down. Bunch of bunnies killing each other and ripping each other's throats out and shit.
Yeah.
Like, fucking hell. Like, and a dog running through the fields just like ravaging these fucking poor little rabbits.
Yeah.
And look, all that being said, though, as I've gotten older, I have discovered that animation does not have to be simply for kids.
Anime.
Well, there's anime, yes. Which there's actually a animated movie people have been asking us to watch, Gantz Zero. You ever heard of the Gantz series? It's pretty much, there's two guys who are on their way home from work, and they attempt to stop a robbery. But by them attempting to stop the robbery, both of them get killed. They wake up in this apartment building, no knowledge of how they got there, no knowledge of what's going on, and across from them is a woman who is naked, and she looks like she's had her wrist slit. They then go over to the woman, and all of a sudden, her wrist slits go away, and they look, and where they both got killed, you know, one got shot, I believe, and one got stabbed, their wounds go away. And then this black orb appears in the middle of the room and tells them, you're dead. But you have an opportunity to come back if you do this work for me. And it gives them suits that gives them the ability to like do superhuman stuff for a limited amount of time. They get these awesome weapons, and their job is to expel either these demons or these aliens that have come down and are trying to effectively like take a foothold into our world. And the Gantz, the namesake, is the orb, and it's literally like the command module for this. And if you do good enough, then you can escape from it.
Sounds crazy as hell.
It is crazy as hell. There was an anime series that came out a while back, and it has probably one of the best protagonist switches, because the protagonist in the beginning, there's two of them, but the main one that we focus on the most is a piece of shit in the beginning. But
I can relate to that.
But he evolves throughout the show and actually becomes a much more decent person. Whereas the other one, on the other hand, is already a good person, but he doesn't know where he fits in the world. So he has this...
I can also relate to that.
Yeah, exactly. And there's several series that they've released of it, but they released a movie called Gantz Zero. And I am unclear where it stands in the Gantz, like, overarching story. I know there's one character in it who is one of the main characters from the original, but I don't know where it fits. I'm just like, so what the hell's going on? Did this guy die?
I guess we got to watch it.
I guess we have to, yes. But before we can do any of that, we have to watch this Spawn the Recall fan film. This is something.
What'd you say? Spawn?
Yes. Spawn.
Oh shit.
Oh yeah. So, excuse me. So Spawn is here to, I guess, wreck somebody's shit. And
I hope
so too. So let's see what this holds, and let's see what happens. Here we go. A 3, 2, 1, kick it. Please don't sue us. There's no financial gain made from it. Yes.
You enter, abandon all hope.
Is that a cross?
Let's be fast, Michael. Something to be right.
Wonder how they did that shot there. I wonder if they did like layering, and they completely just chroma scaled them out.
No, I think they just pointed the cameras at their butts.
I meant the walking in the supermarket scene. Like all the bodies rolling through randomly.
Don't go too far, Michael.
Oh, that's not normal.
No, that's cool as shit though.
Mm-hmm.
Michael? 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 Michael!
Hey. Calm down.
Go.
You okay?
Michael!
What's wrong? Tell me.
That's my son.
Come on. Lady.
It can't be happening.
Okay, let's see.
Alright, they're in like a manager's office looking at the footage. See if they can see where he went.
Nothing here. Let's move down to the next. No, okay, we don't have anything. I don't know why I can't get close to this. Right. Let's try the other side. Okay. Maybe you'll see the greatest, funniest,
Pitiless pack of soul eaters.
Oh no. I think I see what happened. I got pulled into the underneath. Or the world between. I wonder if this is limbo.
Or this bitch is crazy.
Michael?
I don't know, man. I mean, that mark on her hand, I would assume, is like a marker for like a soul to be taken or something. Or she's crazy. I don't know.
Or both. She could just be on meth and all this stuff.
Okay, you
actually
see
happened.
that? I
Yeah.
love that. The little like it's almost like gaslighting. You don't know if what you're seeing is real. I like that.
Michael?
Is that lighter really going to be providing that much light?
Michael!
In the dark,
Honey, you okay?
in certain points of darkness, dude, a lighter can provide a lot. It depends on how much light is being consumed by other sources. But if you're in complete darkness, that lighter can actually provide a lot.
Come here.
Especially if it's a Zippo with like a huge flame on it.
take it off? What happened? Tell me.
Do you want to be happy? Or maybe you want your mommy to be happy?
Is this
Well, come here and win the flake of happiness.
is the
A
Violator?
little drop out of the flake, and all your problems will be gone.
I think it might be the Violator.
The easiest and the funnest. Insert your medallion. Turn the handle. And you'll see the greatest, the funnest,
The pitiless pack of soul eaters.
It's your boy.
Stay back. You are lucky I found you first, child.
Your boy.
Your mother. I have to talk to her. Remove hers.
What did he ask?
I see your power hasn't faded, witch. Many things have changed since you vanished. Lucifer is back. We need you.
Very cool.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Very,
witch.
very cool.
So, the mother was a witch, and it seems that she has flame abilities of some kind,
Yeah.
casting abilities. And then, of course, Spawn, I think, realized what the Violator was trying to do. He was trying to take the child away to use as a bargaining piece against the mother, and Spawn stopped it and immediately was just like, why would the Violator be interested in this child? Who is his mother? And then he found out that the mother was, in fact, the witch.
Man, this thing was really, really nice, but it was a total cock tease.
It was.
You know, like,
It was.
I would have been just as happy not watching it because now I want it to be an hour and 45 minutes long.
I know, right?
You know what I mean?
I know. Well, the thing is, the only Spawn film that we got was an atrocity.
I'm not hating on it.
Oh, I don't hate on it.
It
I see it for what it is. It was a quick cash in by a big studio to try and make some money from comic book fans, and they didn't take it seriously. They didn't take it seriously. Imagine today if you had a studio take Spawn as seriously as they did the Joker movie. Or
There's
the
no
Dark Knight
reason
series.
why they shouldn't have then.
No.
There's no reason why they shouldn't have then, and I will give you points. The Crow,
Yes.
Blade.
Yes.
It's
Spawn.
already been proven that it can be successful.
Yes,
Dark comic book films had already been the ones that were successful.
Yes, but
And respected.
Yes, but studios are afraid because so many have failed in the past and they're just like
Because
they're
they were
shittily
cash
made.
grabs
They were
because
cash
they
grabs,
weren't
yeah.
seen as serious. And I mean, the Batman films, you got to give them credit where credit is due. At least they were like high budget films.
Yeah.
At least they were taken seriously to a certain degree. They weren't taken seriously in the space of their plots being the greatest or the scripts or the lines, being the greatest. But as far as cinematically and how much money was invested in them,
Oh yeah.
they took that seriously. But the Spawn one,
No, they didn't. And
but I mean, you got the album. The album was great that came with
Yes,
it.
it was amazing.
Of course, Todd McFarlane's working on the visual aspects as far as like the character creations and stuff, which look pretty good. But the digital effects were just horrendous.
Do you
The
know-
lines were freaking terrible.
Do you know how long the special effects team had to work on like the underworld and the CG scenes?
I mean, it couldn't have been over a month.
3 weeks. They
Yeah.
were given 3 weeks to make the devil, hell, and a lot of the effects.
Worst parts of the movie.
Yeah. And when you get to Spawn, like, no disrespect to Michael J. White. Michael J. White
killed it.
is a killer
Yeah, he
as
killed
Al
it.
Simmons.
Yes.
I thought he killed it as Al Simmons. And also certain change-ups that they made with the story. For instance, his daughter actually being his blood daughter instead of being like a stepdaughter.
Oh yeah.
I liked that.
Mm-hmm.
I also liked the casting of D.B. Sweeney as his friend who was looking after
I
his
think the
wife.
casting was
Yeah,
perfect.
the casting was great. But overall, the film was lacking so much in terms
Violator
of
was great.
John Leguizamo, dude.
was great.
Yes.
I mean,
he
it
fit.
literally can't be any more perfect than
Yeah,
that, in
he
my
fit
opinion.
so well.
Yeah.
And also, Martin Sheen. Martin Sheen as the boss man. I mean,
Great.
And the sad part is, all of the effects, the makeup effects that you would see on Spawn were done by Greg Nicotero of The Walking Dead.
Killed it.
And yeah, really good.
I mean, that part of it looked good. Like Al Simmons, torched from hell. That look, the suit looked fucking badass. Like, it was the CGI. The lines were not very good. The script wasn't the best.
No.
But they had to do so much work because people were already protesting the film. People were already upset because it was not far removed from the Satanic Panic.
Of
And
course.
people were still... I can remember like it was yesterday hearing a family member of mine, a distant relative, just being like, well, I felt like hellfire was going to burn the roof off the place when we were watching that movie.
Sorry, has that motherfucker never seen The Exorcist?
Probably not.
God.
But I just
Exorcist is more believable than fucking Spawn.
I just think that this day and age we could do better, but for when it happened, I mean, and what they were working with, they did pretty damn good. It wasn't, as shitty as what was the guy that played the Russian in Rocky, Dolph Lundgren?
Dolph Lundgren, yeah.
Yeah, his Punisher movie was an abortion.
Oh, don't even start.
You know what I mean? Like, there's been way worse.
There has been.
The Captain America TV show, like, I mean, there has been way, way worse.
God, you ain't kidding.
But it didn't get the fair shake it deserved. The album was great.
there were a lot.
There
of
were a lot of
aspects, too,
good
that were
stuff
really
to it.
good.
You can't completely shit on it.
No, I don't completely shit on it, but
but-
but for the time period it came out in, I do agree there could have been, there wasn't really much they could have done.
And can I say this about the animated series? I really like that they went as deep as they did with it and that it was as detailed as it was.
Oh yeah,
But for the love of Christ, the monologues, dude.
Yeah.
The long, drawn out,
yeah.
I mean, it's boring.
It is, in which that's the thing that Todd McFarlane he spearheaded that. And the thing is, in the comic book medium, you can get away with that because you're reading it, you're engaged with it, you're saying these words in your head. Now, don't get me wrong, hearing David Keith say those words is awesome.
No,
But-
I don't hate on it tremendously. It's just like, just get to it.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. And the truth is, with that, I could think that cutting down the monologues. That's why it would work in a comic book medium, but it doesn't work in a TV show medium. In a TV show medium, it can work, but you have to have something going on during that monologue, or you have to make you have to abridge the monologue to the point of where it can maintain people's attention, because it's the same thing with Vine and TikTok. Like 6 seconds or 5 seconds or however long you have to maintain people's attention.
I mean, it's not even that for me, though. It's like I can watch hours of Star Trek Next Generation. You know what I mean? I don't need... Like, storytelling is fine to me. I'm cool with just storytelling and, like, not crazy action going on all the time. But that series just... It bored me a lot. I had to skip through a lot of it.
And that's fair.
Well, the second time. I mean, I've watched it, but I've had to skip through it to go back to stuff to actually enjoy the action that was going on, because by the time it was finally happening, I was drooling out the mouth, just passing out.
Yeah. It can be like that.
But I'm glad Spawn's still relevant. I'm glad people still love Spawn. Thanks for suggesting the video, because let me tell you, I had to battle back in the day to get my dad to buy me Spawn comics. I had to deal with people tripping out. Oh, it's satanic and everything, and that didn't kill it, man. It survived.
My preacher loved Hellboy. Hellboy's satanic. Hellboy's got satanic symbolism in it.
But it's more like myth, manipulation of myth than anything else. The people who are creating these things aren't looking at it as if it's some real world portal to
the underworld,
bring out demons or some, they're looking at it as if they were talking about Thor in a comic book or what any other myth, because to a lot of people, Christianity is a myth. So, they're just playing with those characters. Same way Shin Megami Tensei does.
Yeah.
Well,
and they play with ideas.
Many things do that.
Well, they play with ideas that they hold in a mythos, and they want to make part of their mythos. And when it interferes with people's religious beliefs, I mean, don't get me wrong, I have my beliefs, but yet I can separate a person's ideal of fiction versus what I believe. That's
Well, then why weren't the same Christians pissed off about Left Behind? You know what I mean? That's religious fantasy.
It is. Because here's the thing: everyone imagines the rapture. Everyone just gets lifted out of their shoes. That's an invention of the 20th century Christianity, and you see the stuff that keeps being added or taken away or just absolutely destroyed in Christian lore and everything. I just, whenever people quote Leviticus as a reason why homosexuality is a sin, I immediately just go, what is the name of the religion you follow? Christianity. Okay. What did Christ say about the Old Testament? My death will free you from the bonds of old. So the Old Testament doesn't mean shit, and Jesus never spoke out against homosexuality. I rest my case.
Also, who gives a shit? Those same people masturbate. Those same people cuss. Those same people lie, cheat, steal, do all this other shit.
Cross-dress, the shit that they protest against. There was a senator in Texas who protested against cross-dressing, homosexuality.
Happens all the time.
And next thing you know, they get pictures of him
sucking a million dicks.
Not only sucking dick, but cross-dressing and dancing in the privacy of his own home. His wife videotaped it and sent it to the news stations. Career over.
Just build your career over some hateful ass shit, and that's what happens to you.
Well, it's because he wanted to entertain the masses. It's just like how Julius Caesar came to power. When you entertain the masses and you give them what they think they want, instead of actually challenging them to think for themselves. I mean, everyone who comes along and says, "I have the answer. I know what to do," and is charismatic enough and has enough backing for it, they can take over the world.
Before we end, favorite Spawn moment when he killed the ice cream truck dude. The ice cream truck dude who had been just murdering boys and girls.
Pretty much revenge fantasy porn for John Wayne Gacy.
Yes.
Stuff. Yeah.
And so Spawn murdered him, and he was just hanging up in the back of his truck with a bunch of popsicle sticks in him and shit. Mm-hmm. And I can't remember if he left a note, but somehow he left a note for the police, and it said, he made boys scream, he made girls scream, so I made him scream and scream and scream and scream. And I was just like, damn. Damn, Spawn.
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, you dish
Spawn
out justice
was-
your own way.
Spawn was Dexter before Dexter.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was. And in some ways, is a lot more brutal about it.
Oh, yeah. But
But anyway,
Yeah.
thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you for this suggestion. And again, hopefully we will see you all in the next one. So until then, I'm Nate.
I'm Chad.
We'll see you then. Peace out.